All right, howdy folks, welcome back to another season after a long winter cold hiatus. I'm back on the boat today. It's my spring break this week, so I have been here for a couple days, 3 days now. This is actually me in the future. I'm going to have to jump back to some projects that I started about 3 days ago. But what I've got in store, or what I had in store at the beginning of the week, was a few projects, like cleaning teak, working on a plumbing problem, getting the engine ready to go, and then hopefully going out sailing on Saturday when the weather starts to warm up. So let's take a look at those projects now. All right, so this plumbing project that I'm working on is something I noticed at the end of last season. This the head, inside the head there's the sink right here, and it was leaking inside, so it was like coming out on the floor down there, and it was coming from right here, so somewhere in this area here. So what I try to do is, my guess is that there was some sort of sealant around the inside of this that needed replaced. So I wanted to take this piece off. So it's like the tail piece of the sink, and I unhooked the hose. So the hose, you can see, is here, and then from here inside, and you won't be able to see this, but because I can't even see it, it's way up inside here somewhere, way in, like up there, and there's a little 90-degree elbow, and then from the 90-degree elbow it goes into this piece in the sink. And I freaking cranked on that thing all day for well, not all day, but I freaking cranked on that thing for like 2 hours yesterday, trying to get it off there, and like I can't figure out which way it's turning and which way it's supposed to be turning and how many parts there are. There's a black elbow that goes into like a white nut, and then the nut goes onto the piece that ends up coming into the sink. So lots of different like little pieces that are moving, and they're all stuck and they don't want to move. So, and most of it's plastic, which is weird. Like the elbow is plastic and the white plastic nut's plastic. I think this top piece is actually metal. So there are metal threads going into something else that you can't see. So I'm going to spend some more time cranking on that thing and try to get that off there so I can figure out what's leaking. I'm probably going to have to end up replacing the entire piece, the entire tail piece for the sink, just because I want to end up cutting that thing off because I can't get it off there. But I'm going to try a little bit now for another hour or so, try to see if I can get this free and then figure out what is going on. This thing got so frustrating yesterday, I had to stop because it was driving me crazy trying to get it off. But I'm going to get it today if it kills me. I feel like I'm getting some movement on it, but every time I feel like I'm getting movement, it stops and doesn't work. I tried to take the whole sink out, but they've got so much sealant in there that I can't get it off there without bending the edges of the sink. So I can't really push it up from the bottom either. And voila, I got it off there, and I think I figured out the problem. It was already actually unscrewed. And I just got mad at it and pulled it off, but it's already unscrewed, and but it had a lot of silicone on there that was still holding it. So it's got this rubber washer that's got a lot of silicone on it, and it's got this piece which I cannot for the life of me figure out how this is actually even attached, and then this piece that goes in the bottom of the sink. So it's all in one piece, so I could reuse this if I wanted to. This feels like plastic to me though, and I think there's a little nick in it. I'm not sure if that's from me but I may end up just having to replace this whole tail piece. I can't figure out why that thing wouldn't come off, but it is off, thank goodness. One challenge done for the day. All right, so I fired up the engine yesterday. And one of the problems that I had toward the end of last season, just like maybe the last couple times we went out, is it seemed like the battery was like dying because I'd go to start it and then it would crank over really slow.
So I thought, oh, you know, the battery's at least 5 years old, so maybe it's something related to that. So when I went to start it yesterday for the first time of the season, it did the same thing. Battery's really slow, and I couldn't get it to not do that or start like with a slow battery, because especially it was kind of cold out. So I came in and looked at the battery, and the battery here you can see is from September 20th so it's 5 years old, and this positive terminal was loose. So it was like barely on there, and both on this part here where it attaches to the lug, and this part here where this is just kind of an extension of the lug. This is what goes to the charger, the trickle charger, and then this is goes directly to the starter. So so that was the problem. I tightened this up, both of them up really tight, and then it started perfectly, like it was a new battery. So I got it started after checking the battery. Go figure. So the other thing I did was I switched the anchor. So the anchor that's on the starboard side there, well, I did have it originally on the port side, but it fits better over on that side, and I had that open spot. That's where the on the right side, the starboard side is where I had the Fortress, and on the left side is where I had that plow anchor. So I got rid of the plow and got this Rockna. Now it's on the starboard side, and I don't have enough room on the left side for the Fortress. So I think I'm going to have to figure out some way. I want to put the Fortress somewhere up here, attach it somewhere, maybe make a place to hold it on that empty space right there if I can, because I like having it up front, like having two anchors. And it's pretty big, so it's going to be hard to like mount it in the back somewhere. But that one project that I had to get done yesterday. The other thing I worked on was this teak, and this has kind of been driving me crazy. This is all teak here that had been varnished before. I varnished it, and then the varnish is starting to peel off, so I need to repaint or revarnish it. But I'm debating on whether I want to do that or not. On the outside, I used a sealer instead of varnishing it, and I cleaned it again yesterday, but there's still some spots that need cleaned again. So there are some spots that you can see when it gets wet. You can see it has black spots in it. It's kind of hard to see up here a little bit, especially. But I need to clean all that again, and then either seal it or put some sort of protectant on it. This stuff I probably will end up varnishing this again. You can see, even though I cleaned it yesterday and I scraped it, sanded it, cleaned it, and still have this varnish just peeling off. So I got to get all that off before I actually start doing the next piece, which is refinishing it. And then I still have these parts here where you can still see varnish, and then where it's peeled off and where I scraped it off yesterday. So still again today, this was pieces were coming up here, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get all that stuff off there, either a stripper or something. These pieces still look fairly decent here. But just like here, when I did these parts, a lot of this black stuff that got under the surface didn't come all the way out with the cleaner. So try the cleaner again and see if that works. Clean it a couple more times. All right, so I think I have my solution to replace this. I've looked all over. I can't find this exact replacement, and this thing fits inside the sink, so I can't find one this big that's silver. I can find ones that are white plastic, but I don't want to put it in the silver sink or this chrome. It's actually like a chrome-plated plastic type thing. And then this nut, can't find a replacement for that either, and definitely can't find a replacement for this washer, because it has it's a little cupped shaped washer that fits right inside this nut. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace this thing. I had to replace it because I messed up all the threads taking it off. I'm going to replace it with this, and then I'm going to use a combination of probably like a flat rubber washer and then some of these O-rings, or one of the O-rings, to go around the top side and inside here, and just see how that works. So I've got an assortment of different sizes that I've used for different things, and then that one of them will have to sit on top, and then one of them will go on the outside. and I think that should do it. And my problem I'm going to have though is when I put this thing on is these flat surfaces on the nut are going to be like really close together. So I don't have a tool that's that thin. So I'm going to have to like try to hand tighten it as best as I can until I get it separated enough to put my channel locks on it. So that will be a problem, but we'll get to that when we get there. So a couple more things I picked up while I was out. I picked up some seizing wire so I can secure the anchor chain and the pin that holds that together to the anchor. And then I picked up some copper washers for the engine. This thing here, strand of stainless steel wire, and it's not that much. It's only, how much is it? 10 feet of wire. This is like $16, so it's crazy. But it's from West Marine, so it has that, and plus it's from Loose, which makes hardware and stuff for boats. But then these copper washers, I ran out. These go on the fuel filter bleed valve, and you have to replace them relatively frequently because to the way they work is they get compressed and it creates a tight seal, and so fuel doesn't leak out. But I ran out. I used my last one the other day changing the fuel filter, and this thing here is $15. So it's kind of crazy that a pack of 10 washers, but it's Yanmar, and it's, you know, from the Yanmar authorized dealer, so that's the markup there, I think. But on the good side, this piece here, I got that from Fawcett Boat, and this thing only costs like $3, so I was expecting it to cost twice that much, but so I guess I did get a good deal there.
All right, so that repair on the sink there did not work. So I put it on once, and it started leaking a little bit again. So I took it all off, tried it again, and the second time the nut broke. So I just went ahead and ordered a replacement. That is a metal replacement to replace this plastic piece down here. I went ahead and put this piece back in. It's still going to leak, but just to have something in there temporarily. And but then I found a piece on Defender that will fit that hole. So I'm gonna have to wait till that shows up in the mail. But for now, I'm gonna leave it like that and go with what I've got.
So I think that's all I've got for right now. Like I said earlier, it is my spring break week. I've still got a few more days of spring break, so I'll spend most of it here doing some more cleaning on that teak, and hopefully we'll get to go out maybe later this week. Right now the wind is howling. The weather's not too bad. I think it's in the 50s right now, so, but it's going to be colder out there. But still, the weather is not too bad, but just kind of we're under a gale warning right now and heavy winds. So I think by Thursday or Friday or something it's supposed to be better. So we might try to go out or do a sail later in the week. But that's all I've got for now. I will see you folks hopefully in another video soon.